So in this video we are discussing concepts of static timing analysis, and we are discussing a very important concept of combinational logic duplication. So this is a question given to us. We will see it by with the help of an example. So let's assume that this is the critical path. Okay, so this from flip flop 1 to flip flop 2 is the critical path, and the output of flip flop 1 is fed to combination logic 1. This is input to combination logic 1. Then output of combination logic 1 is fed as input to combination logic 2. This is another input of combination logic 2. Then output of combination logic 2 is going to flip flop 2. And the important part is that only one bit signal can go from combinational logic 1 to combination logic 2. Okay, so output of combination logic 1 will be a 1 bit signal that will be as input to combination logic 2, and we are given that TCQ, that is the propagation delay of this flip flop, is 1 nanosecond. Then the combination logic delay for CL2 and CL1, they both are given as 10 nanoseconds. So the combinational logic delay are 10 nanosecond. Then the setup time of this flip flop is 1 nanosecond. So first point is, what is the maximum operating frequency of this circuit? So if we have to calculate the maximum operating frequency, then we have to calculate the minimum time period, or so that will be equal to TCQ plus TCL1 plus TCL2 plus T setup time. So that is equal to 1 plus 10 plus 10 plus 1 in nanosecond. So this is equal to 22 nanosecond. So the minimum time period is 22 nanoseconds. So the maximum operating frequency, or F max, it is equal to 1 upon T min. So F max is equal to 1 upon 22 nanosecond. That will be approximately equal to 45.45 megahertz. 45.45 megahertz. So this is the maximum operating frequency with this circuit. Now how we can increase the maximum operating frequency is by the using the concept of combinational logic duplication. So as we can see that in this example, first combination logic 1 will evaluate its output. Then that output will be fed as input to combination logic 2. So then combination logic 2 will evaluate its output. So they are processing one by one. We can also process them simultaneously. So we can also make CL2 and CL1, combination logic 1 and combination logic 2, work in parallel. So to make them work in parallel, we can design the circuit like this. So this is flip flop 1, and this is the clock signal. Then flip flop 1 will generate the output of flip flop 1 is going to combinational logic 1. Now the output of combination logic 1 will be a 1 bit signal. So the output of combination logic 1 can be either 0 or 1. The output of the combination logic 1 can be either 0 or 1. So we can duplicate the combination logic 2. So 0 is fed as one of the input to combination logic 2, and 1 is fed as another as a input to the second block of the combination logic 2. So as you can see, we have duplicated the combination logic 2. So one of the input to combination logic 2 is 0, and the other input to the second block of the combination logic 2 is 1, and these are separate. So these are the inputs of the combination logic 2. So one input is 0. So for the first unit the input is 0, and for the second unit the input is 1. So we have duplicated the combination logic 2, and their output will be given to a mux. Their output will be given to a mux. So this is a mux, and the output of combinational logic 1 will work as a select line to this mux. Okay, So output of combination logic 1 will work as select line to this much. So this is input, this is input, this is input, this is input, and this is also input. Okay, so the output of combination logic 1 is also working as the select input to this mux, and the output of this mux will be going to the flip flop 2. And this is the clock signal. Okay, so what it means is that we do not need to wait for output of combination logic 1. We do not need to wait for the output of combination logic 1, because the output of combination logic 1 can be either 0 or 1. So we have taken first unit of combination logic 2, its input is 0, and second unit of combination logic 2, its input is 1. So both the combinational logic 1 and combinational logic 2 are working in parallel, and when CL1 is evaluating its output, at the same time CL2 is also evaluating its output. So both CL1 and CL2 are working in parallel and evaluating their outputs at the same time. Okay, and output of CL2 is fed as mux. So when 0 is the input, then when CL1 is 0, then obviously will be selected, and when CL1 is 1, then obviously this unit will be selected. Okay, so now if we calculate minimum time period, then T min will be equal to TCQ plus TCL1 plus time period of mux plus TSU, and we have assumed that propagation delay of mux is 1 nanosecond. So 1 plus 10 plus 1 plus 1. So minimum time period is 13 nanosecond now. Okay, so the frequency will be increased. The frequency will be increased by the use of the combinational logic duplication. So previously the minimum time period was 22 nanosecond, but by the use of combination logic duplication, we have reduced the minimum time period to 22 nanosecond only. Okay, so this is the concept of combination logic duplication. So in combination logic duplication, what we did was we did such that CL1 and CL2 evaluate their outputs in parallel at the same time. So CL2 should not be made to wait for the output of CL1, and this is possible because output of CL1 is a 1-bit signal, so it can be either 0 or 1. This 1-bit signal can be either 0 or 1. So we take 0 as the input to the first unit of CL2 and 1 as the input to the second unit of CL2, and this we have given to the mux whose select line is equal to the output of CL1. Okay, so when CL1 is 0, then this will be selected, and when CL1 output is 1, then this will be selected. So in this way we can increase the maximum operating frequency. So I hope you got the video, and please like and share the video and subscribe the channel and share your feedback. Thank you and best of luck.